Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for mid August 2025. You have this triangle card that says choices, indecision, and you also have this old woman. It says sadness, female on it. It's like I kind of get this feeling of like a very Scorpio energy in this reading, as in, like a phoenix rising type of energy. Traditionally, Scorpio is the phoenix or the eagle, depending on what you follow. It doesn't matter. But Scorpio is like the sign of rebirth and things like that. And, I think that you are undergoing some sort of like rising up from the ashes thing here, Scorpio. I feel like this is one of those moments that has taken years. I definitely don't think this is easy, or has been easy for you, which we've definitely talked about in the past, right? And I'm not saying that this transition or change, whatever, is like done right this second, but I think you're getting there. I think you're kind of like getting to the end, and it's definitely should be improving. Like, there should be improvements. It's funny I said it's a very Scorpio reading, and you have the death card right here as well, Scorpio. You start here in your current general energies. We're doing a Celtic cross, and the first card is how you enter into the reading, or how you're entering into this time, and you have the Magician. I kind of get like a little bit of an unstoppable vibe here, like as in if you set your mind to it, you can have it, like whatever it is that you want. The whole point of the Magician, well, there's like two things. Number one, he has mastery over all the suits in the tarot, which are right in front of him. So if he sets his mind to something, like something he wants to accomplish or something he wants to achieve, then he knows that he has multiple different ways he can accomplish his goal. And I think you need to realize that here, Scorpio. He also has the snake right here, and the snake is the Ouroboros. The Ouroboros represents a reinvention, and so he realizes that to truly get something that he wants, he has to match the energy of the thing that he wants, right? And so that's what I feel here, with the Magician. It's like if you could do both of those things, match the energy, but also basically through mimicking success, people ask me about this a lot. They say, how do I match the energy? I'm like, well, if you wanted to be like a famous tennis player, for example, it's like, what do famous tennis people do? They probably play a lot of freaking tennis, right? They probably practice. They probably have certain things that they do to get to that level. So it's like, you would have to do those things to get to that level, right? And so I'm not saying you want to play tennis. I don't know. That's just what popped into my head for some reason. But, that's what I would focus on with the Magician, is like matching the energy. Your crossing energy is the High Priestess, yes. This is very much, this doesn't surprise me. Scorpios are very intuitive, kind of like Pisces, right? All water signs are very intuitive. But I think Scorpios have a little bit, sometimes have like a little bit extra intuition somewhere. And but the crossing energy would kind of say that you're not trusting your intuition. If when we have this card crossing like you do here, it's funny that you actually on the bottom of the clarifying deck you also have the High Priestess, so that's interesting. But what I would say is I kind of feel like this is saying you need to stop doubting your intuition. Now, one thing I will tell you is that we have Neptune is retrograding back into Pisces as well. I do not think that personally that Neptune rules Pisces. I've looked at a million Pisces charts in my day, and to me Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces. I still think Jupiter is the ruler. I don't think it ever changed. I can look at any Pisces. I look at their chart. I can see that they are Jupiter ruled. Plain and simple, right? And so that's what I'll say there. But number two, I think Neptune and Pisces is actually very murky. It can cloud our intuition for sure, I think. Because what you need to understand about Neptune is it's like, it would be like being in the middle of an ocean with like 1,000-foot waves with 10,000 hurricanes above your head. That's like Neptune, right? So it's like, is your intuition going to be very good at that point? No, you'd probably be crapping your pants, right? If you were on a boat and that were happening around you. So, it can I think that it can kind of cloud our intuition a little bit. And, really, I think the other thing people need to realize about Neptune and Pisces, and Neptune and Aries both, is that both of them, they're both transits. I'm talking about, Neptune going through Pisces and then going through Aries, really want us to trust ourselves. And so sometimes maybe maybe we kind of like do know what to do, but we say we don't, but we have, the transits are trying to get us to do it, whatever we're thinking. And so I don't know, all those random things are popping into my head here, Scorpio, but I think you need to trust your intuition more. Next, in the area of what's on your mind, you have the sun, which is amazing. You might find that you're a little bit more optimistic the rest of this month. I actually feel like starting now. This video will be published on the 9th, before the middle of the month. So you could be feeling slightly more optimistic. And of course, I think if we feel slightly more optimistic, that we should double down on that optimistic energy and we should keep it going in that direction. So I would fill your optimism bucket or do more things that make you feel optimistic with this card. I also feel for you that it's an amazing time of ease. Again, if I were a fixed sign, this is the only thing I would be focusing on. And I definitely feel this for you, Scorpio. This baby here is carrying this banner. It's like this big flag very easily. It doesn't mean that your life is necessarily easy. But what it does mean is that you should be looking for ways to make your life easier. And, I know that sounds very simple, but, again, that's what I would do. I don't have any really good examples for you, but, like, my brother and I, we have, like, 2 plates in our house, right? That's it. That's what we eat off. We have, like, 2 plates, two bowls, two cups, right? All that. And it might sound ridiculous, but it makes life so much easier. When we have people over, paper plates, right? Plain and simple. So, and if they don't like it, they can go find fancier friends. I don't care, right? And so, again, it might sound silly, but like having no dishes to do is kind of nice, right? Makes life easier. But if you do that in multiple areas of your life, like if you actively do things to make life easier, guess what? Your life will get a lot easier. I know it sounds stupid. I know it sounds stupid simple. It is stupid simple, but nobody does it, right? So there you go. You show up in your foundation position with the death card. I love when people show up as their foundation position here, or like when their major arcana card, like the death card, comes up for them. The death card can be a transformation or change. It's crazy. I literally got something about like a phoenix rising moment coming in for you here. This is definitely a moment that's taken years, though. I think you've been working towards your own personal reinvention, Scorpio, for a very long time. But and it also is, I think it's kind of funny that in the Chinese, zodiac, this year is the year of the snake. And like you have the snake wrapped around the waist on the magician. And I think I said to you at the beginning of the year, it's like, this is the year Scorpio finally changes. So, you know what I mean? It's like, I think this is where you finally are going to experience the changes you've been hoping for. And obviously that would be a good thing with these cards. And I just think they're big changes. I'm also getting something about like a green light here with this and the sun. Some of you, it's like you could be getting a major green light from the universe. I'm not so sure where that part of the message is going. The other thing I just noticed is that you have this lighthouse card coming up as well. It's like a lighthouse. When you think about it, it's like meant to guide ships and make sure they don't crash into the rocks, right? And so, I don't know, it's almost like you're getting a green light from the universe that you can go, that you can move forward. So that's also popping into my head here. Next, in the area of your past, you have this mystery and ceremony card and this heavenly messages card. Yes, High Priestess. Again, I think you need to trust your intuition. I think that you can see all the times where you didn't trust your intuition, and you're thinking about that. Like this, again, not a good thing or a bad thing, really, Scorpio. I think you're just like, looking at those times in life where you didn't listen to yourself or you didn't listen to your inner voice, and you're correcting it now, which is probably a good thing. You have the Emperor in the past as well. Funny enough, I feel like you're releasing control here, Scorpio. I'm not calling you controlling or anything like that, but it's like sometimes, we've all done it. It's like obviously, and, especially when you want something really bad, whatever it is, doesn't matter. But, this is kind of like the story that's popping into my head for you, Scorpio, is like, I feel like there could have been things or are things that you have wanted really bad in life, and then you try to like control them, but it's like the more we try to control those things, the less likely it is we're gonna have them, right? And trust me, I wish life didn't work like that either. I wish we could just put work into things and get them, but it's like sometimes when we try too hard, then we lose it, whatever it is. I feel like that's what you're realizing here. It's kind of weird. It's like this is popping into my head as a realization that Scorpio is having. It's like you're realizing that there's no point in controlling something in the first place, or even trying to control something, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. It's almost like you're practicing more non-attachment. I feel like I said this to you recently as well, but definitely that's I know that's not what the Emperor means, but that's what's popping into my head there. Next, in the area of your very near future, you have this orbiting space card. It says something or someone is orbiting you, wanting to make its presence known. Probably a Virgo. I don't know. It's like the two of you actually don't have Virgo showing up here, but it's like you show up in Virgo's readings. I apologize because I called you a lingerer in their reading last week, but again, they linger in your reading too. So it could be any sign. You have this lighthouse card. It says you're a light that can't be hidden, so don't ever try to dim it for anyone. Yes. Even the sun can represent you thinking about getting more attention or needing to get more attention. So I think it would be an amazing time for you to stand out and be seen. It's time for you to be unstoppable, like I said at the beginning of the reading. I really do feel there's like this little bit of an unstoppable energy with the magician, but it's about doing things to become unstoppable. To become unstoppable in life, I believe that we have to develop a certain amount of momentum, right? Like we have to get the energy rolling. And that's kind of what I feel like this reading is saying. It's like you're getting a green light to become unstoppable. Does that make sense? It's like the universe is like saying, yes, now is the time to build that momentum that will make you unstoppable. Maybe that's a better way to put it. You have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you. I kind of feel like water signs are just doing this anyway. Jupiter and Cancer. Jupiter and Cancer, I would also say Chiron and Aries. I think there are several things that are going on that are kind of like triggering water signs to release things that no longer serve them, or are triggering water signs to like do good things, like improve your health or improve your wellness or improve your mental wellness or whatever it is that you want to work on, right? Eight of Cups is, personally I like the Eight of Cups. He's walking away from things that no longer serve him. It's like, how is that a bad thing? It's not. It's definitely a good thing that he is doing that. So I think it's positive. I think it's good that you are walking away from things that no longer serve you, walking away from things you no longer need in life. And yeah, that's exactly what I would do with the Eight of Cups is like, don't be afraid of cutting things out. This is one of the only cards in the tarot with the eclipse on it right here. And we have these eclipses coming up next month in September. I'm not too worried about these eclipses. Number one, the Pisces eclipse is pretty good at the beginning of September. Then we have the Virgo eclipse, which is the one that I think most people are worried about. But really, I think that it's pretty freaking simple as far as I'm concerned. That Virgo eclipse, and we also have the South Node Virgo. Again, I always say, like, astrology leaves clues. We've had the South Node Virgo for a long time. It's like the universe has been preparing us for this, right? South Node Virgo says, don't try to be perfect. Guess what an eclipse in Virgo says? Don't try to be perfect. If you are trying to be perfect on everything you do, you're not going to get anywhere. If you're willing to be messy and willing to experiment and see where things go, you'll be fine in any area of life where you're working on stuff, right? So I think as long as you just realize that none of us are perfect, nobody is, then you'll be fine. And that and again, don't allow perfectionism from preventing you from starting things, right? If you just get started and be willing to be messy, you'll be very successful. Next, at the for your outcome row, you have this Smoke and Mirrors card and this It Is What It Is card. Yeah, like I said, the It Is What It Is card is more, or sorry, right here, I was backwards. But, this is more practicing non-attachment. I would be careful of, like, Smoke and Mirrors, and we're in the age of deception. I've literally been saying this since 2016, and, like all these things. You can go back to my lives. When I used to go live, if you separate them out by the oldest, I used to talk about Neptune and Pisces all the time. And it's funny because I see so many people all of a sudden talking about all the things that I was talking about. I predicted COVID during that time. I said diseases because of Pisces, number one. I said something about being careful with water, and someone just made a prediction. I just saw an astrologer make a prediction about them adding something to the water. I have to be careful with what I say on YouTube. It's like, I've been saying this for years, people, right? To me, it's very obvious based off the astrology. So, the Smoke and Mirrors thing is that we probably aren't seeing the truth of anything at this time. I don't know. Whatever. It's like we just need to pay attention, and I think if we do that, we'll be fine. Next, in the area of your next few months, you have the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about going on an adventure, and being spontaneous. I think it's an amazing time for water signs in particular, especially you, Scorpio, to go on adventures, learn new things. You get out there, socialize. You probably heard me say this. Like recently, I moved to a new top secret location last year, whatever it was, and obviously I've been here for a year now at this point. And so I started taking some classes last week, actually, based off of a hobby I have. So again, I also live the energy. I don't just tell people to do things and like not do them. I hate when people say "do as I say, not as I do." I do it. And already in only the first week, I met so many amazing people. I had such a great time. It was so worth it, right? So many great friends. And again, I'm saying this because I think there's a lot of benefits for water signs in particular to socialize at this time, right now, for moving forward. It's like water signs, I think, are going to be the leaders of the future. I think water signs are going to be the ones that are going to help guide people through whatever we're going to go through here. I'm not even going to try to predict it because who the hell knows? But you know what I mean? But it's like to be in a leadership position, obviously you have to have people to lead. So, go do something in public. Go hang out with friends. Go have fun. Go travel. Go meet new people. All that other stuff, right? And I think it's just such a, like, again, I don't even know what the benefits are of it, but I just know personally, and I'm telling you right now, people who do this stuff are going to get benefits from it. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Five of Pentacles. I would get out of your head in love, especially if you want love. Maybe you've been hurt or maybe you're feeling left out in the cold. I kind of feel like, again, you're getting this green light, though, and it is popping into my head here in connection. So, again, maybe you're getting a green light that it's time to, put yourself back out there or meet new people. I don't know. I kind of feel like I need to clarify a little bit more here, Scorpio, so we'll see what comes up when we clarify. Next, we are going to do your future feelings, and you have the Three of Cups. Again, like I said, I think that really, the benefits are going to come from people. Surrounding yourself with the right people is going to be something that really lifts you up. And again, there's something about it. I literally just said this to Pisces, but it's there's something about people who you meet that are out doing things. It's just a different type of energy. It's you're literally meeting people who do stuff in life, right? And so you're surrounding yourself with a better energy of people who do stuff instead of just do nothing. So I don't know. I would definitely encourage you to do it. But amazing card for celebrating, having fun with people, all that other good stuff. Your outcome is the Seven of Pentacles, which is a change in direction. So I feel for a lot of you, clearly there's a lot of change here. Magician, we talked about change with the snake. You have the Death card, which obviously is a change, and the Eight of Cups is walking away from something. So, I think you're just going through changes like everybody else right now. We are literally in the most significant time of change in history. Most people will never experience this. I always say Pluto and Aquarius, right? It takes 280 whatever years it is, or whatever it is, for Pluto to come back to a sign. So most generations, most people will never experience Pluto and Aquarius. Only people that were born basically when it entered till, 20 years from now, right? We'll experience it. And then we'll all be dead next time it comes back. That's for sure. So with the Magician and the High Priestess, you have the Knight of Swords. Green light. Knight of Swords, sometimes I don't like it. Sometimes I do like it. We were talking about momentum. And Knight of Swords is my card of momentum and building momentum towards something, doing more of what works and charging towards something. If you're getting a green light, or if you feel like you're getting a green light, which I feel like you are, it's the universe is giving you a green light, I would charge towards that, whatever it is. I feel for some of you it's work. With the Sun, you have the Hermit card here. Didn't I say something about the Hermit at the beginning of the reading, or I'm making that up? I don't know. But again, I feel the Hermit could say it's time to shine your light. Even the Sun. The Sun can say that you're thinking about stepping into the spotlight or into the limelight, right? And it's definitely, I think you're getting the green light to do that. I think that could make you a little bit unstoppable as well. But, like I said, I think the reading itself is saying you need to build the momentum of becoming unstoppable, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I feel here. With the Death card, you have the Five of Cups. Yeah, I think this is a fixed sign thing, is what I would say to you, Scorpio. I think a lot of fixed signs could be feeling a little bit extra nostalgic right now. This is not a card of nostalgia. Normally, the Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia. But again, I read intuitively, and so I don't know. If you're for the card Nazis out there, if you don't like it, go watch someone else. But, again, whatever. This is what's popping into my head. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be feeling like a little bit nostalgic or, thinking about the past or kind of. It's like, there are things you have to let go of or release, or people you have to let go of or release. And, I think there could be just some natural sadness that goes along with that. I also think, this is very much a level up reading, right? It's saying you're changing with the Magician. You are becoming unstoppable. It's like when we do these things, then we do become different. When we form new connections with people who actually go and do stuff, we do become different. We are a different person. And so it's like, I think it's natural to have a little bit of sadness and the fact that maybe there are some people that you have to let go of or that you can't spend as much time with, and all that other stuff. With the Emperor, you have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups can be like a knight in shining armor here. I wouldn't really call this a love reading, obviously. I think it's more about you. I think it's about the actions that you should be taking. The Knight of Cups can also be your dream, though. Like, he needs to plant seeds in front of this water that's flowing in front of him, even though he's standing in the desert, because even though he's in the desert, there's water there, so those seeds will grow. So I feel for a lot of you, this is saying it's like maybe some of you are revisiting a dream, or it's like you're getting a green light on a dream that you should try again. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Three of Swords. Again, more sadness. Like I said, there could be some sadness about having to let something go this month, but it's like I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's like, I feel like the sadness is there, but at the same time, it's like sometimes sad things are good at the same time, right? And so, I don't know. People always ask me about that. They're like, you just said this is sad. How can it be a good thing? It's like, I don't know. If you're dating, like imagine you were dating the biggest loser in the world, right? Who's going nowhere in life, and then you break up with them. It's like, yeah, sure. It's like you could be sad about it, but at the same time, it can be a good thing, right? So I don't know. It's like if you were dating a serial killer, and then you find out in the future, which is a very Scorpio thing to do. If there was ever a sign that would date a serial killer, probably Scorpio. But what I would say here is that it's like, obviously you can be sad and also happy at the same time of those two things happening. And so that's what I feel could be going on here. It's like there are things that you no longer enjoy. I think this is a very fixed sign thing that fixed signs are going through right now. It's like you can be sad that you no longer enjoy something or that you have to release something, but you can also be happy with like the hopes of a brighter future, And I feel like that's what the reading is encouraging for the most part. With the Page of Wands, you have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is moving on to calmer shores, so a lot of improvements. Yeah, I think adventuring could lead to a lot of improvements. We're in a time of variety. It's been popping in my head all year that this year would be a year of variety, and next year, by the way. But what I mean by that is like, the universe, I think, is trying to get us to have a variety of experiences to pull from, where it's like we need to have things that we can, bring in knowledge from. If that makes sense, because it will like enhance whatever we're doing. And so I don't know, I think we need to have a lot of variety in life, and that's why all the readings are encouraging variety and adventure. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Emperor here. I would be careful of a past person, Scorpio, for sure. It's like they show up in the past, they show up as someone who left you out in the cold right here. So I would be careful of that with this energy for sure. I also think you need to realize like how strong you are. The whole point of the Five of Pentacles is to not call attention to your weaknesses. It's to focus on your strengths, which I feel like you need to do here. Yes, this is why. With the Three of Cups, you have a new person, probably. Again, I'm a big fan of meeting a person in public, like that is doing things, not on Tinder, right? As I always say, it's like when you meet someone on Tinder, you're meeting someone who just goes like this, probably sitting on the toilet going like that. That is the type of person you're meeting. A person who thinks it's a good use of their time to do that. Now, I'm sure, like, spare me the details. Someone always leaves me some story about the rich prince of some rare European village that they married, that they met on Tinder. Great. Good for you. You are the 1.00001%, right? Most of the people are, that's, sorry to burst your bubble, that's probably not going to happen to you, right? So again, for the rest of you that understand nuance, I would say that probably meeting a person in public would be a good idea. Three of Cups could also be meeting a person through friends, which I also think would be a good idea as well. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Six of Pentacles. Time to start planting those seeds on something new. You are a different person. I think it's like the reading is saying you need to be, you are the type of person who is unstoppable, but you just have to like plant the seeds to make that happen. You know, you've probably heard me say this before, Scorpio, because I'm a big fan of doing what I call creating a positive snowball in life, where it's like, snowball rolling downhill. You see that it builds and builds and builds and gets more snow packed on it, becomes bigger. I'm a big fan of creating positive snowballs in life, where it's like you start rolling in a positive direction, and eventually you pick up so much speed you could probably roll over a house, right, and knock it down if you build up enough power, right? And so that's what that's saying. It's like you need to start taking those steps to make that happen. You have this fire card that says strong emotion, passionate, love, or hate. I don't know, you're a Scorpio, probably, yes. I mean, this to me, I always think of Scorpio when I get this card. Every Scorpio I know is very passionate. So, but I would make sure, obviously, that you're putting it in very good stuff. You have this Dogs card that says getting together with friends. Obviously, Three of Cups. I think it's an amazing time for you to surround yourself with like positive people, people who lift you up, people who support you. Yes. You have this card that says discord among family and friends. These are probably the people you need to avoid. People who cause problems. People who are preventing you from leveling up. Things like that. I would avoid that at all cost. You have this ear card that says good news on it. Yes, there could be good news. You have the Knight of Cups. Knights to me are messengers. Knights to me can definitely represent good news, like being, good news coming in. So there could be some sort of good news here. And finally, you have this Dolphin card that says financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. I'm pretty sure you had a card like this with me. The other thing is I think that not last year, but maybe over the past couple years, you've been getting these messages with me, Scorpio, for sure, of like you reinventing something that you did in the past, which is a very Scorpio thing to do, which is definitely the Magician is a card of reinvention. So if you are thinking about taking something you did in the past and reinventing it and doing it in a different way, yes, definitely could lead to a lot of money. But this looks pretty good here, Scorpio. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.